Hello everyone, welcome to Recent Jobs. In this video, we will cover Java interview questions. Whether you are preparing for your first job interview or brushing upon your Java skills, this video will cover essential Java questions that you need to know. Firstly, we will discuss brief overview of Java. Java is one of the most popular programming language in the world, known for its platform independence, robustness, and extensive use in various environments. Coming to importance in the job market. Java developers are in high demand and mastering Java can open doors to numerous career opportunities in tech. We will be covering a range of questions from basic to advanced levels including core Java concept, object oriented, advanced Java concepts and collection framework. Basic Java questions. What is Java? Java is a high-level object-oriented programming language developed by Sun Microsystem, now owned by Oracle. It is a platform independent, meaning it can run on any device equipped with JVM and designed to have a few implementation dependencies as possible. What are main features of Java? Java is a object oriented. Java uses objects to represent data and methods, making it easy to organize and manage code. Platform independent. You can write Java code once and run it anywhere because it's translated into a format that have any device with Java can understand. Java has simple and familiar syntax. Java code look like a C++, making it easier to learn for those who know C++, but it's simpler and avoids some of C++ complicated features. Java has automatic memory management. Java automatically handles memory cleanup so you don't have to manually manage memory and reducing errors. Java is robust and secure. Java helps catch many programming mistakes early and has built-in security features to protect against threats. Java is multi-threaded. Java can perform multiple tasks at the same time, which is useful for things like games or real-time applications. Architecture neutral. Java programs can run on any kind of computer as long as it has installed Java. What is the difference between JDK, JRE and JVM? JDK stands for Java Development Kit. It is a software development kit used to develop Java applications. It includes JRE and development tools. Coming to JRE, JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. It is the runtime environment for executing Java applications. It includes JVM and core libraries. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine. It is an abstract machine that provides a runtime environment in which Java bytecode can be executed. Explain the main components of Java architecture. Java architecture includes Java compiler, turns your Java code into a special format called bytecode, which is easier for computers to understand. Class loader loads the piece of code needed for your program into computer's memory when you run the program. JVM. JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine, a virtual computer that runs the bytecode and manages things like memory and errors to ensure the program works correctly. Coming to Java API, a collection of ready-made tools and libraries that help you perform common tasks like reading files or handling data. Coming to execution engine, part of the JVM that runs the bytecode efficiently by converting it into machine code that your computer processor can execute. What are the different types of memory areas allocated by JVM? JVM allocates memory areas such as heap. Heap stores objects and is shared among all the threads. Stack. Stack stores local variables and partial result. Coming to method area, this is like a library that stores information about classes and methods used in your program, such as code and static variables. PC register. Similar to a bookmark, it keeps track of the current instruction being executed by JVM for each thread in your program. Native method stack. This area handles methods written in languages other than Java like C or C++, providing a separate space for those operations. What are four principles of OOPS? The four principles are encapsulation. Binding the data and methods that operate on the data into a single unit is known as encapsulation. For example, a capsule. It is wrapped with different medicines. Second principle of OOPS concept is inheritance. When one object acquires all the properties and behavior of a parent object, it is known as inheritance. It provides code reusability. Third principle, polymorphism. If one task is performed in different ways, it is known as polymorphism. Coming to fourth principle, abstraction. Hiding internal details and showing functionality is known as abstraction. For example, phone call. We don't know the internal processing. In Java, we use abstract class and interface to achieve abstraction. What is inheritance in Java? Inheritance is a mechanism where a new class acquires the properties and behaviors of an existing class. It promotes code reusability and supports easy relationship. Let's understand inheritance with real life example. A child inherits the futures of its parents. This shows inheritance. What is polymorphism in Java? Polymorphism allows objects of different classes to be treated as objects of a common superclass. It is achieved through method overriding and method overloading. Similarly, let's understand polymorphism with a real life example. Consider a person who can have multiple characteristics at a time. The person can be a mother, an employee, and wife at the same time. The same person acts differently in different scenarios. This shows polymorphism. What is encapsulation in Java? Encapsulation is the bundling of data and methods that operate on the data into a single unit. Or simply we can say that encapsulation is the binding of code and data together into a single unit is known as encapsulation. Explain the difference between method overloading and method overriding. Method overloading. Defining multiple methods in the same class with same name but different parameters is known as method overloading. Coming to method overriding, redefining a method in the subclass that is already defined in the superclass with the same signature is known as method overriding. Method overloading is determined at compile time, whereas method overriding is determined at runtime polymorphism. Java language fundamentals. What is a constructor? A constructor is a special method that is automatically invoked when an object of a class is created. It initializes the object and allocates memory for its members. Constructor is similar to methods. What is method overriding? Method overriding is the process of defining a method in the subclass that is already defined in its superclass with the same name, parameters, and return type. It allows a subclass to provide specific implementation of a method that is already provided by its superclass. What is method overloading? Method overloading is defining multiple methods in the same class with same name but different parameters is known as method overloading. Simply we can say that same class with same name but different parameters is known as method overloading. What are access modifiers in Java? Access modifiers can control the visibility and accessibility of the classes, methods and variables in Java. They include 4 types. Private. Private is accessible only within the same class. Default. Accessible within the same package. Coming to third access modifier, protected. Accessible within the same package and subclass even if they are in different packages. Public. Accessible from anywhere on the number and type of argument passed. What is the difference between abstract class and interface? Abstract class can have abstract methods and concrete methods. It can also have instance variables. A class can extend only one abstract class. Coming to interface, it can only have abstract methods and constants. It supports multiple inheritance as a class can implement multiple interfaces. Exception handling and multithreading. What is exception handling in Java? Exception handling is a mechanism to handle runtime errors that occur during the execution of a program. It prevents abnormal termination and maintains normal flow of a program. In simpler words, exception handling in Java is a way to manage errors that happen while a program is running. When something goes wrong during execution, such as trying to divide by 0 or accessing an invalid array index, Java allows you to catch these errors and handle them gracefully. This prevents your program from crashing and ensures it continues to run normally. This helps maintain the normal flow of the application and ensures a better user experience. What are checked and unchecked exceptions? Checked exceptions must be caught or declared using the throws keyword at compile time. Example, input output exception and SQL exception. Unchecked exceptions, or known as runtime exceptions, do not need to be declared at compile time. Example, null pointer exception and array index out of bound exception. What is the difference between thread and runnable interface? Thread, a class in Java that you can extend to create a new thread. Runnable, an interface in Java that you can implement to make your class executable by a thread. Both ways let you run your code in a new thread, making your program do multiple things at once. Explain synchronization in Java. Synchronization is the process of controlling the access of multiple threads to shared resources to avoid thread interference and memory consistency errors. It makes sure that when one thread is using a resource, other threads have to wait their turn. This prevents problems like threads interfering with each other or getting the wrong data. It is achieved using synchronized methods or blocks. What are deadlock and race conditions in Java multithreading? Deadlock is defined as a situation where two or more threads are blocked forever, waiting for each other to release resource. Imagine two people trying to pass through a narrow hallway from opposite ends. They both wait for the other to move and no one can proceed. Race condition, a situation where the outcome of a program depends on the sequence or timing of the thread execution. Example, it's like two chefs trying to add ingredients to a dish without coordinating. If they don't follow the recipe's order, the dish might end up with missing or extra ingredients, which leads to race condition. Now we will discuss collection framework questions in Java. What is the collections framework in Java? The collections framework is a unified architecture for representing and manipulating collections like list, set, map of objects in Java. It provides interfaces like collection, list, set, and map, and classes like ArrayList, LinkedList, HashSet, and HashMap to store, manipulate, and retrieve data efficiently. For example, ArrayList is a resizable array while HashMap is a key value store. This framework enhances code reusability and interoperability between different types of collections. What is the difference between ArrayList and LinkedList? ArrayList implements the list interface using a dynamic array. It provides fast retrieval but slower insertion and deletion operations. Coming to LinkedList, implements the list interface using double linked list. It provides fast insertion and deletion operations but slower retrieval. What is the difference between HashMap and hashtable? HashMap allows null values and it is not synchronized. It is faster but not thread safe. Coming to hashtable, it does not allow null values and is synchronized. It is slower but thread safe. What is the difference between comparable and comparator? Comparable is defined as an interface that defines the natural ordering of objects based on single property. The compare to method is implemented in class of object being compared. Comparator is defined as an interface that defines custom sorting logic of object based on multiple properties. The compare method is implemented in separate class. Now we will discuss advanced Java questions. What are annotations in Java? Annotations in Java are used to provide metadata about various elements in your code, such as classes, methods, fields, or other program elements. They do not directly affect the execution of the code itself, but can be used by the compiler, development tools, or at runtime for processing and validation. Annotations start with the @ symbol followed by annotation name. What is reflection in Java? Reflection allows Java code to examine or reflect upon itself at runtime. It provides a way to inspect classes, interfaces, fields, and methods and manipulate behavior dynamically. In simpler terms, we can say that reflection in Java is used to inspect and change the behavior of a program at runtime. What is serialization in Java? Serialization is the process of converting an object into a byte stream that can be stored in a file or transmitted over a network. Deserialization is the reverse process of converting a byte stream back into an object. Explain the concept of Java garbage collection. In Java, garbage collection is the process of managing memory automatically. It finds unused objects and delete or remove them to free up resources and improve performance. It is managed by the JVM. What is the difference between static and instance variables? Static variables are class variables. It belongs to the class and are shared among all the instances of the class. They are initialized only once at the start of the execution. Coming to instance variables, it is known as non-static variables. It belongs to the instance of the class. Each instance has its own copy of instance variables. Simply we can say that the scope of static variable belongs to the class itself. Instance variable belongs to the instance of a class. While static variables are accessed using class name, instant variables are accessed using object reference this. What are lambda expressions in Java? Lambda expressions introduced functional programming feature to Java. They are anonymous methods that can be passed as arguments to method or store in variables. Simply we can say that lambda expressions were added in Java 8. A lambda expression is a short block of code which takes in parameter and returns a value. Lambda expressions are similar to methods, but they do not need a name and they can be implemented right in the body of a method. Now we will discuss miscellaneous Java questions. What is the purpose of the final keyword in Java? The final keyword is used to declare constants and prevent method overriding and prevent inheritance when applied to classes. How do you handle null pointer exceptions in Java? Null pointer exceptions occur when trying to access an object that is null. To handle them, check for null values using if statement or use optional class that is Java 8 onwards. What are the different types of loops in Java? Loops can execute a block of code as long as a specific condition is reached. Java supports three types of loops: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. Coming to for loop, it executes a block of code a fixed number of times. When you know exactly how many times you want to loop through a block of code, use for loop instead of while loop. Coming to while loop, it executes a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. Do while loop. It executes a block of code once and then repeats the loop as long as a specified condition is true. Do while is a variant of while loop. How do you implement try catch finally block in Java? Try catch finally block is used for exception handling. The try statements allows you to define a block of code to be tested for errors while it is being executed. The catch statement allows you to define a block of code to be executed if an error occurs in the try block. Use try block to write code that might throw an exception. Use catch blocks to handle specific exceptions. Use the finally block to execute code that should run no matter what, typically for cleanup purposes. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more content. Leave a comment below with any questions you have or topics you had like me to cover in future videos. Thanks for watching and good luck with your interview preparation. See you in the next video.